In this video, we're looking at a Tfal Ultra Glide iron. The other day, the wife said, it's time to buy a new iron. And I said, what do you mean? And she says, well, the light keeps on going off. And I said, really? She goes, yeah, when I move it around. So we played with the cord. And anytime we did something like this, the unit would turn on and off. So I suspect that there's a break probably in here in the cord. So since they give you lots of cord, I'm just going to open this up and snip some of this cord off and reattach it. And this iron should be as good as new. Now, while the back of each iron will be different, in this case, there's not a solid back plate. It's a plate here. It has two fasteners. They're T20. So if you only have a Phillips and a straight blade, that won't work for you. You'll need to get the right tool, which in this case is a D20. Different irons, it may vary. It looks like this plate is also attached to this handle. And if we lower this, there's another fastener here. So it looks like I might have to remove 3 fasteners to get this off. I switched to a ratcheting driver since it requires a lot of forward pressure to keep the bit in the screw. And even with this, the bit tends to step out. Maybe they're just really bad fasteners. But the ratcheting does help a little bit. So it turns out I was using the wrong bit for the fastener. I was using a T20, which has a flat bottom, whereas this security T20 has a little dimple in it, and it makes so much better with the fastener. It makes removing them very easy. So double check the head of your fastener to make sure you're using the correct bit. And now that I'm using the correct bit, it's so much easier. They're still in there pretty stiff, but as you can see, I'm making much better progress. With the 3 fasteners out, it doesn't quite come apart. There is a seam here. I'm just using a credit card to see if I can get in there and perhaps open this up. And the ideal is, you know, if I come in here with a screwdriver, it's plastic, so I'll probably do some damage and nick up the plastic, and I don't think the missus would appreciate that. And these are usually just held in by snaps. So if the credit card doesn't split it open for me, I might get more aggressive. And, you know, maybe I'm able to get something like a trim tool in there. Sometimes these are used in automotive. And definitely this one digs in much better than the credit card. And what you want to do is just go along the edge and see if you can get to a snap. There's one. There's probably, see, there's the snap there. There's probably another one here. And so just patiently work your way around it. There's another one there, another one here. So we're going to work our way around this side. And now it's almost 90% off. Something is caught in here. To come apart to see, there we go. There was one additional snap somewhere. And I lift this up And you see it had this one snap up here at the top. And so now that's out of the way. So that actually lets us see what we're working with. So now we have a view of the back, and the first thing I do is I just take a picture. That way, if there's a problem when I go to reassemble, I have a reference that I can refer back to. So we have power coming in through here. There's this little clip here that holds the cord and keeps it from being pulled up in case there's stress on it. So there are two probably T20 fasteners there that need to be taken out. That'll take out this beige piece, and then that'll release the cable. With the two fasteners out of the way, this beige strip here seems to go over past this piece of plastic. So I think if I'm able to move it over to my left, I should be able to remove it. And I'm trying to be careful so that I don't break anything in here. Oh, there we go. So this part comes out. So using a credit card, I was able to slide in here, free this pivot point, and then turned and pulled out from the other side, and that freed the unit. And that's just simply sliding something in there like a credit card. Now we have to investigate how we can get to the connector inside here that goes from the power cord to the regular wiring. After not finding any fasteners that held this plastic in place, I just gave it a good tug, and this whole module slides out. So, a little different than some other irons where they just have wire nuts going from the power cord to the inside wiring. So now I have to look at this, and looks like they've inserted pins into some grooves. So far, I've not been able to figure a way to get the pin that goes in here to come out. It seems there's no mechanism for releasing it. So my next attempt will be, what if I cut the cord and then maybe cinch after this break, and then I might be able to use just this existing connection. The theory being that the break is somewhere between here and here. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut the cord here. Here's a close-up of the wire after I cut it and I strip back some insulation. Here's what it normally looks like. But on this side, you'll see that even if I try separating the strands, they don't, because that's where the break was, and it was arcing across some of the strands, and it literally just welded them together. Doesn't solve my problem because I still have all this good cord, and this is where it connects to that little beige piece that clamps everything together. So if I'm going to stitch into this, I have to do it somewhere upstream, but I have to make sure that whatever connector I use will fit back in here, and I can close this up. Otherwise, the missus gets a new iron. After giving this some thought, I'm going to try using a butt connector. So this is the power cord. I put a butt connector on each end. I have some shrink tubing that I will shrink later. The problem is, remember, we have that little bracket in here that holds the cord in place, and this has to be past that point. So I need to allow just enough wire to get in there and maybe do a 180 so I can come back. And then I have to snip enough of this wire off so that it's out of the way, but yet I don't snip so much off that I have trouble making this wire come back around. I cut the cord that's coming out of the iron, and I left about a 1/2 inch of insulation attached to butt connector. Did that to the power cord. from the power cord. Did the same thing going in. Here's my shrink tubing that I'm going to add. Yes, I forgot shrink tubing on this side. And the important thing to know here is one side of the cord is grooved and the other one is smooth. So you got to make sure that you match groove to groove, smooth to smooth, so that the polarity is correct. And hopefully, once I crimp this side, I'll be able to pack this wire in here so that we have a stable, solid connection. By referencing the photo I took earlier, I'm able to make sure, using my credit card, that all these wires are in the correct position so that I can start inserting this. So my next step is going to be insert this part that goes here, and then we'll secure the rest of this cable. I should have mentioned this earlier. Make sure that your bracket is still on your cord, though you could probably get it on from the plug side. So now what we're going to do is take this part of it and just slide it in to the hole, and then pivot, as they would say in Friends, so that I can catch the other side. And so now it's in place, and we have great success there. Now all we have to do is just pack this wiring so that we can attach this securely. So at the moment I have the wire coming down. It goes underneath this little post here, wraps, and goes inside, right? So instead of going straight this way, I'm crossing the wires over, only because I feel that just allows me to pack them in a little bit tighter. Now it's time to get this little holder here. And as you see, they do want to pop out. So I know the holder goes this way because I've referenced my picture. I know it goes in deep, so I'm just going to create a little dipple there for it. And hopefully this will slide into place. And I may need a pair of pliers just to coax it in. Push it in all the way to the left, and now it's ready to be secured with the two fasteners. And I just snug them up until they seat, and that's it. Don't force it, don't over torque it because it's plastic. All right, so those are in. Now it's a question of making sure that these are in deep enough so that when I bring this cover over it, it all snaps into place. And remember, on this cover, it's this top point here that needs to go into here. And that was the last thing that we took out. So I'm going to try to make it the first thing I put in. So this gray tab, the bottom of it, needs to go into here. Problem I'm having is, here's the opening that little ladder is supposed to go through. And there's a piece of plastic here that I guess each rung of the ladder catches, and it holds it securely in place. It won't come this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if maybe if I can snip this piece off, then I can secure it, because this back plate is being held in place by screws. The top of this handle is not going to come off. So by cutting that, I think I should be able to get this to go in place. So move the ladder towards the hole, and we can see now that it does seat correctly at the top, making sure all the wires are in the correct place, because I don't want to pinch them. And some of them moved just ever so slightly. So I'll push them back in. Probably best to use a credit card for that, as you're not going to damage anything. All right, so now we're most of the way clipped on. We're all the way clipped on. So now I just need to add the 3 fasteners that we started with, and we should be in business. As you put on the fasteners, make sure that this seam is closed all the way around, and then all we have to do now is plug it in and test it. It's warming up. Ah, there's an indicator light down there. So we flex this and it stays on. So we know that we've made a good connection. I know this was challenging to do. Most irons, you simply just cut the cord on the inside and just either screw it back in, or a butt connector or a wire connector, and you're done. This was more of a challenge, and there was a moment there where I didn't think I'd actually be able to pull it off, but we did. Anyway, so I'm going to turn this down because I can smell the heat. Anyway, if you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join our subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.